Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of CarX Drift Racing 2 with Broeghammer Auto House. Today we are tuning the Eva MR, aka the Mitsubishi Evo 9. This one was a struggle. I had a lot of trouble with this one for quite a while getting the tune right. I think it's the power delivery, it just doesn't quite work for drifting very well, but hopefully the engine swaps will cure that. You can see on this one I do have the R&T body kit. Swapped out a couple parts, so I have the missile rear bumper, custom spoiler, it's like the custom brand, whatever, and then the CBW front lights, and the custom edition trunk. So when it's tuned out all the way to Pro Drift 3, it has 776 horsepower, 940 Newton meters of foot-pounds in torque. Anyway, it's confusing with Newton meters, but it translates to just under 700 foot-pounds of torque. All right, so walking through the tune here, you can see where everything's at, spring size, stiffness. I always have 10 degrees of toe. This one I went a little bit more than 4 degrees of camber, 4 to 4.4. Caster is maxed out, and then the Ackerman is what tended for me to be the biggest thing as far as control with this vehicle. I went down to 55, and normally on most of my cars I run that at like 65 to 70%. But when I was at that 65 to 70% with this car, I was having a lot of problems with it spinning out. So if you're having problems with your car spinning out too much after you tune it, try to mess with that Ackerman angle, because it could be really one of the major things that's not working for you. I don't know exactly what it does, but the higher the level, the more, I should say, the less grip the front wheels have. So the other thing too is once it's maxed out, I have the RPM and everything at the max torque. And when you see the RPM rev limiter, I have it way down, because if you look at the graph, as soon as it hits that point there where it hits rev limiter, the power level goes way down. If you have the rev limiter set to closer to 8,000 RPM, you're getting up to that power band and then it's falling off and it's struggling. So I pulled that all the way back to the point where it's going to have max power at the rev limiter. The gear ratios are all shown here. You can play with them as you'd like. Fourth and fifth gear are a little interesting to play with. I ended up at that 0.98, as you could see. I'll jump back to that screen here in just a second. The 0.98 in fifth gear, and then the other one in fourth gear at 115. So it seems to be working best for me, but I have been playing with this tune for a long time, over many months, and finally getting this thing tuned in to what I think is one of the more comfortable setups. This is how it's working well for me. So I'm gonna do a quick little run here on just the practice area where I was tuning to make sure I had everything really nailed down. And then we'll jump over to the current events, and I'll chase down a 350Z for a quick round so I can show you guys how capable this tune is when you're chasing somebody down. I do like that the motor that comes in this vehicle, it's really like, I want to call it like a rally motor, which I'm sure it is very similar to a rally type motor, because the initial hit when you hit the throttle doesn't go super high, and then as soon as that turbo kicks, it just flies up to rev limiter. So you'll see here, I'm at the very start. We're just going to run it straight through so you guys can kind of see how my personal strategy works with this kind of stuff. But I cycled around, and then I checked the mini map here. Saw that there's a vehicle coming out of that left side. He'll be coming around the center post on this big open area. And there he is. It's the 350Z. Swing it in there and try to match his speed, and then get on the door as much as possible. So if you guys have any more questions about either tunes on certain vehicles or driving styles, I know there was a guy that commented that he was having trouble and was spinning out too much, or maybe you can't get enough angle in the car. Let me know, leave a comment, and I'll let you know if I have some direct suggestions as far as what you can do to adjust your tune to fit your driving style. Because at the end of the day, you know, you might love how my tunes initially set up your vehicle, but if it doesn't work for the way that you prefer to drive, or maybe you use different controls than I do and the driving style changes a little bit, let me know. I'd be interested to hear from you guys, see what your setups are, and maybe you have a tune that you think is better than mine, and I would love to hear from you on those as well. I'm always trying to learn and improve my tunes on all these vehicles, and it's great to have a community that follows it and is willing to add suggestions and comments and play with it. So anyways, thanks for watching today, guys. Appreciate it. All the new subscribers over the last few days have just been great. Like I said, I think in the last video, I know it's only in the 30s, but you got to start from somewhere. So here we are, and we are going to keep going up. Please leave a comment below if you want to see any more videos. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you later.